everybody, welcome to another video. I've had to travel about 6 or 7 miles out of Liverpool city centre to find some woodlands. These are not permission woodlands, they are used by the public. I believe that it's an old tip site, which is, I think it's 11 hectares, 11.5, something like that. It's owned by a consortium of trusts, woodland trusts, private companies, a mixture really of different owners. The woodland is planted deciduous and pine. Now earlier on I was walking past a little section where they had bark protectors on the bottom of the trees, and I've asked a few dog walkers that I've seen today, is there any deer in here? And one fella said, yeah, maybe. Down the grapevine he's heard that there's possibly deer in here. This area that I've chosen for tonight's camp is primarily ash. Now usually I would have a problem camping underneath ash because like beech they like to drop the limbs without warning. That would be a problem if it was a more mature woodland that I'm staying in. This is really nice. There's a carpet of greenery on the floor, grass, and it's really nice, and they're only very young trees, so at best they're going to drop twigs, not actual limbs on me. So yeah, let's crack on. Tonight I'm going to be doing a hammock camp, and then hopefully tomorrow morning I'll set up the other part of this camp that I want to demonstrate. It's a proof of concept. It's a take anywhere kind of camp setup that I've put together. So I'm going to choose a couple of trees now, whack my ridge line up and get under some tarp because it is looking a bit overcast at the moment. Okay, so as you can see, this is the whole shelter kit. It weighs about 7 kilos, just over 7 kilos, the whole lot. So from this end, the S bag, I mean I've labelled them all just with a Sharpie pen. In this bag we've got the DD Jura 2 sleeping bag. Then we come down to the tarp. Most of that is ropes, guidelines and that kind of thing. The tarp is very small. The tarp itself is the superlight version, DD Hammocks superlight tarp. It weighs 800 grams, 850 grams on its own, and it's really compact. It's probably half the size of that really, and the rest is taken up by paracord. Next we move on to the hammock itself, which is the DD Hammocks. And then we go on to the roll mat, and inside there again is a magic carpet, DD Hammocks magic carpet. So as I'm putting everything together, you will see all this materialise and come out of the bags. Right, okay, so the first bag, it is threatening to rain, so I'm just going to quickly run through this. In there we've got some tent pegs, so we've got, I think, about 10 from the Polish Lavu of that type, and then we've got about 6 or 7 of them ones as well in the tent peg bag. I'm not going to be using that stays for the tarp all the time. Next in here we've got a pole system, which is very light aluminium. I think I bought this from an army surplus store. 5 section. Obviously not going to be using that, but the system itself, like I say, weighs about just over 7 kilos. So there's the tarp, really small DD Hammocks superlight tarp. It's not a 3x3, it's 3x2.9 metres, available in lots of different colours. This one happens to be cozy browns. Apparently get 4 guidelines and 4 pegs. So we'll be putting that up very shortly, and then just in the bottom I've got loads of bundles of good quality paracord and a couple of bits of rope in there. So I'm going to crack on, put the tarp up, because like I say, this storm is coming in. It's been raining on and off all day, so that's the first port of call to get this set up over the ridge line. Right, okay, so that's the tarp setup. Just used 4 corners on this occasion. I know the wind might get up a bit later on, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we just had a little bit of a shower, but you can see water is beading off it. So yeah, looks good to me. Almost, I would say, kind of a perfect setup for the tarp. Okay, so I keep my suspension system in a dry bag, mainly because if it gets wet in the night, then it can go in the dry bag and not get anything else wet. Pretty much. One done, and then usually what I do is all these tassels, drip points I leave on the underside. Obviously water's going to find the shortest route back to ground, so I'll leave these on the underside when I'm putting the hammock up. Right, so I've got here the DD Magic Carpet. Like I say, I just use Sharpie pens on everything, so I know what items are. It compressed a lot more than this when it was packaged and not opened. I've opened this product, so this is the smallest dry bag it can go into. Again, if it gets wet, I'll put it in there when it's wet and it's not going to get anything else wet in the bag. And then I've just got 4, I've carried 6, but I've got 4 El Cheapo 10 pegs from Sports Direct, the aluminium kind of ones, just to peg it on the floor, because I've got a little bit of work to do on the hammock before I suspend it from the 2 straps. Well, that's the Magic Carpet pegged out underneath the tarp. Just affords you a little bit of dry space if the ground is wet. Like I say, it's been raining today, so the grass is a little bit wet here. But yeah, it's a good size, very lightweight. Right guys, so here's the hammock. If you remember from the last video, I'll put links in the description. I didn't particularly like the way that you get all this webbing and that kind of thing, because I don't need it all, so we're going to do something about that today. So I'm just going to use Grizzly bushcrafter knife. Cut it about there. There's the excess, so about there. So what I'm going to do is put a couple of knots in here now. So I'm going to hold it like that, wrap it round my 3 fingers, go underneath and then back through, and there is a figure of 8 knot, and that should do us for the new kind of gather ends of the hammock. Right, okay, so let's take a peek inside, see what it all looks like. So I've left it open, the main zip open, so I can just climb into it later on. Okay, like I said on the previous video, I need to sort out this kind of this tie-in point for the spreader bars for the mosquito net. So all I've done is used the bungee cord, part of the bungee cord that DD Hammocks supply, and then just put them onto a carabiner onto my ridge line. Right guys, so getting a bit hungry now, so let's have a look what's for tea tonight. I'm working on gas tonight for a change, so we've got some portobello mushrooms, a nice piece of sirloin steak, got some bacon for tomorrow morning, some Australian smoky cheese, some pita breads because I always kind of crush my bread, bit of cheese there. So using the Primus Express spider, I'll show you more about that when I start cooking. Couple of plum tomatoes, and the only other things in this bag, couple of coffees, and this is my kind of part of my mess kit, if you like. It's just a canvas roll tool thing. In here we've got obviously a pair of very lightweight tongs, knife, fork and spoon in there. Then we've got pot grabber, tin opener and a wooden spoon. So there is room for one more item or a couple of more items in the end pocket. Nice and compact, rolls up, goes onto itself like that. Nice and compact, love it. So I've just brought us in under the tarp a little bit. It is raining. Good old Zippo. Let's get the pan on. A bit of oil in there. Seems we've got a bit of a slant on this. Might have to add a bit more oil because I'm doing some mushrooms as well, some portobello mushrooms. So there's the steak. Let's get the steak in first. Alright, it's coming down a little bit now. There we go, nice bit of steak. Got some duck, not duck eggs, but I've got some blue eggs with me as well. 4 of those, very nice. So tonight we're going to have steak, egg, just put that out of the way, out over there. So steak, egg, got some portobello mushrooms here, obviously for tomorrow morning as well. Look at them guys. Got tomato, another tomato with it, and all that'll be for tomorrow morning. So yeah, all good guys, all good. So I decided to do a few more mushrooms, and I'm going to whack a couple of eggs in a minute. Just got me steak over there, just resting while this lot cooks in here. So let's tuck in. Can't beat it. Let's try a bit of this steak. Medium rare is the way I like it. Oh yeah, loving this, guys, loving it. Right guys, I'm just gonna have a little brew now after that hearty meal. Love this thing. It's a new pot. It's got a pour on it. It's got a bail arm on it. It's got handles on it. My mate Ant from Survive the Night's got a similar one of these, and after seeing this I thought I'll buy myself one. So just going to boil some water up in there now. What I usually do, using quite a large mug today, but measure out how much water I want for a brew, tip it in the boiling pot, and then I'm just using these 3-in-1 kind of things, sachets should I say. You get them from Poundland. There's some here somewhere. So yeah, enjoying it so far. It's going a little bit dusky now. Wind's picking up a little bit as well, which is another reason why I brought the gas bottle out and the gas stove with me. So yeah, it's all good. So I'm just going to whack that in there, and what I usually do is keep that, fold it over, and then that can be my stirrer, go straight into the waste. Didn't take very long at all. Let's take it off there for a second. Right, I'm going to show you a neat trick about Primus stoves. Right, first of all, Primus stoves are all hand fired at the factory, so they're all tested at the factory. So when you buy one brand new, it will have kind of a rainbow effect on the burner that lets you know that it's been tested by hand at the factory where it's made. That's the first thing. With this one, it's the Express Spider, so just around the edge there you can see a little pipe that goes back down around there and into the burner. So I'm going to have to turn it down quite a lot for this little experiment. So one of the things that Primus are famous for is not only can they use gas, but when you get to the end of your canister, they can also burn the liquid. So that's the liquid it's burning now. The reason it's doing that is because through that little pipe that I just showed you before, it's getting preheated, the liquid's getting preheated, it's getting vaporised, going back into gas, and then it's getting burnt. Show you that once more. So, canister upside down. So I mean, you can perch that on a couple of logs and you can get the dregs out of your gas canister out of Primus stoves. Nice brew after that big meal I've just had. It's going to be a bit hot for me yet. I'll have to let it cool down a little bit. Nice for warming the hands up though. Temperature's dropped a little bit. Right guys, so yeah, it's going good. It's been raining on and off, but I'm warm and dry, that's the main thing. So yeah, loving the pockets. So I've got my torch, torching this one. plus my nav power charger. That's what this white cable is for, charging my phone. And in the roof I've got my head torch, which is set to red. Up there I've got a water bottle, and in there I've got batteries. The batteries for the radio. Radio's just hung on this side here. So yeah, I'm just kicking back, just relaxing really. Morning guys. Slept okay. Storm Hannah has approached us. It came in the middle of the night. I've had twigs and branches falling around me all night, but nothing major. So it does look a bit overcast. Looks like it's going to chuck it down. Forecast is not good for today. So I got myself a little bit of breakfast on, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. Bit of fuel for the tank. Just got myself a brew on. I'm going to finish my breakfast guys, and I'll come back to you in a bit. Hi guys, good morning. Storm Hannah is upon us in the UK here. It's just started raining again. The winds got up quite a lot in the night. As I suspected, camping in ash, there was twigs dropping all night. I'll give you a pan around in a minute of the area. Some of these twigs are already dropped, but not as many as what is this morning. But yeah, I was fine. I've just had breakfast, time to break camp. My thoughts on the hammock. Yeah, it kind of worked with the sleeping mat. I didn't really think it would work. Maybe I'm going to keep this hammock just for summertime. Go back to the drawing board on the all-in-one, all-terrain kind of shelter system. I may end up just going super light on ground dwelling, and super light or as light as I can on the hammock side. Yeah, I think I'll be going back to under blanket. The sleeping bag, can't fault it at all. Brilliant, worked well. The pockets in it, I stored my my phone, my wallet, that kind of thing last night. Brilliant sleeping bag. Can't knock that at all. Can't fault it. Can't really fault the hammock. Just that the roll mat system didn't really work for me, but it may work for some people. Maybe that's because I'm using the wrong roll mat or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, rain's coming in now, so I'm going to get tidied up. And thanks for watching guys, as always. Please like and subscribe. I am on Instagram now, so bear with me on that one. I'm just getting to grips with how to use that platform. And I'm also on Facebook. I'll put links in the description to all of that. And hopefully see you very soon on the next camp.